Hello, 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 hello. What's up, beautiful people? Hey, 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 hey. It's Winning Wednesday. Hey. It's Winning Wednesday. Woo! Baby, do you need to la la la? Happy Winning Wednesday, y'all. Hey. Dancing with you, dancing for you. What y'all know about that? Anybody know this song? Name that song. We gonna start with an icebreaker. Name that song. Hello, beautiful people. Come on in. What's up, Thrivers? Woo! Hey, we made it to another Wednesday, guys. Let's go. Man, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Shout out to y'all. I see you in the chat. Misty Green in the house. Houston, Texas in the building. Houston, Texas, baby. Cam Denise, hi. Kings and Queens Coaching Group, shalom. Andrea Davis, hello. Doreen, Packy, Disarm Target, 6891 in his house. Hello, Queen. Happy Winning Wednesday. Hey, Amy Williams. Good evening. Good to see y'all. Happy Winning Wednesday. I'm over here just, trying to end the day softly, but in rejoice with joy, all of that, peace, love, light, all that. Hey, family. Dominic Morris. First one to drop a super chat in the house. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate all of y'all. I appreciate all of y'all. Most of y'all in this community, you fit the title of this message because you have gone from victim to victor. If I had confetti right now, I would throw it. But don't worry. If you're here, if you're watching this, and you don't feel like you've gone from victim to victor, you're in the right place because we're about to tag you in. We're about to tag you in. We're about to pull you in. We're going to initiate you to the family. You are in for the perfect message today to help you become a part of this family. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that like button. Hit that like button. Even if you're watching it on replay, hit that like button for me. Make sure you leave a comment too. You might be in the chat, drop your comment. You might be watching a replay, drop your comment. Either way, I want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to read it. Even if I don't respond to your comments, guys, I read every single comment. I really deeply try to engage with y'all. It's not enough time or enough fingers in the day for me to respond to everyone, but trust me, I read it, I see it, I love it, I appreciate it so much. So shout out to all of you. Much love to everyone. I see y'all in the chat checking in. But again, if you are struggling and you're like, man, I don't feel like a winner, but I want to be a winner, or I know I'm a winner, but I'm not, I'm not feeling it. I don't know how to pull it out of me. You're in the right place. This is a conversation that you want to tune into, because although we're celebrating the winners, we're also initiating and recruiting new winners. So join the winning team, join the winning gang. You are more than welcome. Shout out to you for being here. Somebody guessed the song right. If I had something, I would give it to you right now, Oceans. I said name the song. That was tonight's icebreaker. Oceans said Mona Lisa. You got it. Mona Lisa. That song is great. Go check it out. Afrobeat song. I can't even tell you who wrote it. Lo J SARS. Lo J SARS. LOJAYSARZ. That's the artist name. Go look it up. Go check it out for my music fans out there. It's a great song. If you hear the lyrics, you're going to be in love with it. All right, guys. So we're going to dive into tonight's conversation. If I can just have a little bit of your time, I want to have a discussion with you all, and I will do my best to engage before we leave. But I just want to reiterate the fact that you've gone from victim to victor. You guys know, if you don't know already, in this community, I'm always celebrating the wins. I am celebrating the wins. Even those that don't feel like they're winning, I feel like you're winning if you're listening to this type of content. You're going somewhere that you just don't know yet, but I promise you, you're walking towards light. So I celebrate those wins, big, small, can't see them. I'm celebrating them because when you go through narcissistic abuse, you go through hell on earth. Yes, you do. And a lot of you guys are, what I know, are empaths. See, there's a lot of people don't understand what an empath is. There's so much misinformation out there, but it's so spiritual, just like this narcissist thing. And even on the psychological level, this thing has backed up evidence. It's real, it's true, it's factual. And I am so grateful for the knowledge, the type of knowledge that's been exposed, and the type of wisdom that's been bestowed on me to be able to tap into these things to a deep level, to break it down for someone to take their power back, take their life back, snatch their life back, become whole again. So I do want to stop and tell you guys, I have a masterclass now designed to help people pull themselves out of the hole of narcissistic abuse. It's a mastery recovery class. You can find that link on all my platforms. If you're watching the replay, it's in the description box. But make sure you are taking time to do the work on yourself, because you want to go from victim to victor. You want to go from victim to victor. And so tonight we're going to talk about it, and I pray that, it helps someone who truly needs to come out of what they are in. So because most of you that experience narcissistic abuse, because you are that empath person, if you're not a narcissist, you're most likely some type of an empath. There's different levels of empaths, but in general, an empath honestly is just the person that's typically really opposite of what a narcissist is. Although you were created by the same type of pain or hurt, and to me, that's what being a human is. Most humans experience trauma, issues, you know, roller coasters in life, ups and downs. They go through dark times. They collapse in life. They go through things. They bump their head. They learn things. And so no one's perfect, right? No one's perfect. And that's why so many empaths are compassionate with narcissists. That's how you end up getting pulled in that web, because you have compassionate empathy, And so whatever traumas you faced, you've become someone who actually wants to heal, want to be a peacemaker, want to be the one that helps fix things, because you've experienced the pain of, being hated, being unloved, being treated improperly, maybe even being abandoned. A lot of people were conditioned from childhood. And so empaths typically offer admiration and love and validation and spiritual energy. And narcissists are magnets to that. But the hell realm, or the hell on earth experience that you go through with narcissistic relationships and families and those dynamics, it's basically describes the attacks. When I say it's hell on earth, or when I say this is some type of a hell realm, I am talking about the attacks that come with narcissistic abuse on every level. Okay, the trauma bonding, the gaslighting, the manipulating, the triangulating, the smear campaigning, all of that is hell. The abuse tactics, the cycle of abuse is hell. The love bombing, the devaluating, the discarding, even the hoovering. I mean, it's hell. They traumatize and torture you mentally, physically, spiritually. I mean, they are destructive. I say it's more demonic than it is a disorder, but that's me. That's my truth, and I stand on it. Thank you for the super chat, East Dad. I see you in the house. So, because it's such a hellish experience, most people, most people are very, like most people struggle to overcome narcissistic abuse. A lot of people go through a painful phase of trying to get out of this and survive it, because as a result of that hellish stuff that they take you through, you become completely disconnected with your true self. The reason why people struggle to heal from narcissistic abuse is because they lose safety with their own nervous system. That is a big, big deal. That's why a big part of my masterclass, once you go check it out, you will see that I address the nervous system and how to kind of like bring yourself back alive. You have to learn how to reset, you learn how to feel it, understand what you're feeling, because narcissists have destroyed that part of you. It's a lot of damaging effects from this abuse, your brain, your body. I mean, it's crazy. So that's why people struggle with resting after dealing with a narcissist. People lose self-trust. People lose trust, like they lose sense of trusting other people. People lose their inner voice. You know, the list goes on and on. People start doubting themselves so much that when they have thoughts or when they're faced with decisions, they struggle with it. They're back and forth about it. They blame themselves for everything. They're like, oh, I'm overthinking. Oh, maybe I'm crazy. You know, people kind of accept the criticism that's been placed on them, the roles that's been given to them by the narcissist. And so there's this loss of a sacred relationship with the self, the loss of a sacred relationship with your nervous system and your own energy. And to lose that, it's like you feel like you've lost everything. This is why it's so painful when people first come out of this. It's like it feels almost like they successfully killed you, but you're still physically here. You know, sometimes the pain can be so bad you physically feel it in your heart. It's crazy. You don't know heartbreak till you know a narcissist, huh? It's crazy. It's crazy. But tonight I want to give you a few items that I would suggest you write it down. Whether you're a winner, whether you're trying to be a winner, you want to be a winner, write these things down, add it to your journal, and read it. Read it every day. Track your progress, you know, because there are certain things that start to happen when you know you have come out of narcissistic abuse. I call it a matrix. There are certain distinctive things that start to happen, certain powerful things that start to happen when you truly have come out of the narcissistic matrix. And the most truthful thing is that just because you're no contact does not mean that's it. No contact is not the finish line. It's a great step. It's a great step. But it doesn't end there. If you're dealing with a true narcissist, no contact is not going to heal you. It's not going to heal you. It's just going to separate you from the abuser. It's going to take you out of that environment, which is a step. That is really step number one. But that it's not even for everybody. That's why, there's a healing class. That's why there's this master class, because you can be away from them and still feel stuck. And then there's people that still have to deal with them, but they can learn how to not be trapped with them. And so this thing is really deep. So let's talk a little bit about how you know when you are actually really out of it. Not just be physically out of it, but energetically out of it. So the number one thing that I want you to write down is you start to notice that you're shifting from external to internal authority. Let me say that again. You start to notice that you're shifting from external to internal authority. That means I don't need no narcissist, no flying monkeys, nobody to validate nothing. I don't need nobody to validate my experience. I don't need nobody to agree with me. I don't need nobody to believe me, because I believe me. I agree with me. You start to trust your inner no, even if nobody else agrees. It's like, oh, well, this is my narrative. I've taken my power back and I'm standing on it. This is my narrative. That inner residence. That's powerful. That's how you know you didn't just go no contact, or you're not just no contact. You are actually healing from this. You are actually becoming you again. The second thing that I want to share with you is that when you actually come out of it, how you know that you're out of it and that you're growing and that you're healing is you'll have random periods or random moments of genuine calmness. Like you'll start to feel some type of a relief, some type of a lightness. You no longer determined by any narc in your life. You feel a sense of freedom. Really, it's a freeing feeling. It's like the body is like, I'm home again. Like, oh, this is who I am. I'm not walking on eggshells. I'm not moving on anxiety. Like I am prayerful. I'm meditating. I'm doing breath work. I'm not letting my emotions misguide me or have me all out of control. I'm not overreacting. I'm not even reacting. Just a genuine sense of calmness. That's big. That's big. And then there's this time now when you have come out of this thing where you stop having these mental law cases in your head. You stop being obsessed with the narcissist. You stop worrying about diagnosing them, figuring them out, understanding them from head to toe, listening to everybody and their mamas talk about a narcissist, driving yourself crazy with content overload. And you start focusing more on you. You start having more interest on you and less interest on them. You start, learning more about yourself. That's powerful. When you get to the place where their name is not hijacking your nervous system anymore, that's powerful. You're not all crazy and out of whack every time you hear their name or see their car or somebody talks about them or bring them up. You're not searching and digging for stuff anymore. You don't unfollow all these people you followed. Narcissist this, narcissist that, narcissist this, narcissist that. That crap. I know y'all be feeling overstimulated at some point. Am I right? Shout out to my victors. Am I right or am I wrong? You get to a place where you don't want to hear that. You don't want to see that. You want to see other type of things. You want to hear about growth, positivity. Teach me how to become healthier. You want to focus on going to therapy, getting your mind right. You want to focus on your spiritual walk. Brother Hype Man Nerd for the Word, I see you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Cannot thank you enough for all you are doing, MamiSoTrue. God bless. Agape love. Much love, much love, much love. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. To God be the glory, y'all. I'm telling you. From pit to purpose. Man, God is great. Yeah. When anything that has to do with them no longer hijacks your nervous system, you're winning. You've won. Forget winning. You've won. Because that was the whole purpose. Was to control you to the point where the trauma controls your life. Barely functioning. You know, it's like, what in the world? You get to a point where you finally write as part of your narrative, you put a stamp on it that, you know what? That was a teacher, not my destiny. It's cool. You get to a point where you learn to stop making yourself available for abandonment. When you become high boundary, healthy boundaries. I'm not making myself available for anybody to waste my time, waste my energy, waste my nothing. I'm not going for it. I'm learning how to really say no, not feel bad about it, and mean it. That's big. When you get to a place where you can show healthy anger, that's how you know you've come out. You're allowing yourself to feel the anger that you should feel for being duped like this. And I'm going somewhere with this because I want to point something out to you guys in just a moment. And I hope you've been writing these things down. If you need me to repeat something that I've just listed, put it in the chat and I'll go back to it before we leave the live. Because I really want you to be intentional about your healing journey. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. When you get to the point where you are operating like a human being again, oh man. Oh man. So when there's no more I'm cursed, when you stop feeling like you're just cursed, your life is just cursed, you know, I just don't have no luck. And your thoughts now become, you know what, I've been initiated. I've been awoken. I was blind, now I can see. When you start to get the deeper sense that there was meaning behind what you went through and what you had to endure, this is confirmation that you've ascended from victim to victor. From victim to victor. The moment you realize that, you know what? I went through this to finally learn that I'm chosen, that I'm blessed, I'm highly favored, that I'm unique, that I am gifted. Some of y'all realize you're empaths because of this. You got to understand yourself at a deeper level. That's big. That's big. Now, before we go tonight, I'm going to share something very important with you. And if you're taking notes, add this part as well. To survive is just a part of it. That's not all it takes. You don't just survive it. You learn to embrace the new you that you become. So you survive it and then you thrive. You thrive. There's a deep level of grieving that has to be done. And until you really take the time to understand how deep the grieving process is here, you really can't get out. And I think this is important to be shared with, because sometimes people think that, when you see someone talking about how much they're a warrior and they've survived narcissistic abuse and they're thriving now, people that are still hurting tend to think that, oh, you got it good. They think that it was easy or something. And it's like, no. The reason why we be in these chats offering love and guidance and compassion to each other is because a lot of the people that are doing that, they know where you're at. If you are not where they're at and you're in these chats and you're watching this and you're still feeling crappy and shitty and doubtful and just low, you're still going through it, you're in the early stages of this, or you're still in the midst of it, still in this matrix, is because we did and went through some things. A lot of it nobody ever saw. A lot of it no one ever witnessed. It was just us and God. You have to grieve in order to heal. Grieving is non-negotiable. I need somebody to write that down. Grieving after dealing with narcissistic abuse is non-negotiable. If you're trying to avoid it, stop trying to avoid it. That's why that masterclass will help you out. You're going to learn something about, allowing yourself to feel after going through this. Especially those of you that are empaths, because empaths tend to avoid grief. You know why? Because if a lot of people that resonate as empaths, those of you that know, y'all are so strong that you don't like people to see you break down. You don't want nobody to see you cry. You don't want people to think you're weak. You don't want to feel weak. Empaths are usually the one saving everybody, being there for everybody, being the shoulder for everybody, the one being strong for everybody else. So a lot of times empaths don't want to grieve. They avoid grief because they associate it with failure, especially those that have been narcissistically abused and been in toxic relationships. But the reason why empaths really fear grief is because they feel like once they start crying, they might never stop. They got so much in them and so much compassion and so much feeling. They're highly sensitive people. And they just know once them tears gas is shut on, they might not be able to shut it off. Even the empath that feels like they don't really cry like that, if something hurts them enough, oh, they will cry. They will cry their skin off, their eyes out. I have had many days, nights, times where I cried. I had myself in a fetal position and cried and cried and cried about the pain of surviving narcissistic abuse. One of the biggest part of my healing journey, one of the greatest parts still, because I still do it. I still allow myself to cry. If I gotta cry, I'm crying. If I feel like I have to express a certain emotion, I'm not playing with it. I listen to myself so dangerously. I love it for me. I love it for me. I've come a long way. Because for years of my life, I did not shed tears. I held everything in, y'all. Held everything in. Brother Hype Man Nerd for the Word, thank you so much. I see your super chat. 6 years ago, when I got fired by a narcissistic manager, I truly went from victim to victor. Praise our Lord Jesus. Yes, come on now. Share that testimony. Share that testimony, why don't you? That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. But like I said, grief is non-negotiable. It's been one of the biggest tools on my healing journey as someone that has been experiencing this really my whole life. And the reason why I still do it, I'm about to share with y'all some important things about grief. The reason why I still experience grief now, even though I've been healing all this time. And I may always experience it, you know? First of all, you have to grieve the fantasy of who you thought they were. This is everybody. This is bosses, parents, lovers. You know, I thought that was my husband. I thought that was my wife. But that's my mother. Those are my parents. That's my own brother. That's my own sister. You know, that whoever. It's my own grandparent. That's my own child. Some of you, it's your children. Let's talk about it. You got to grieve the person that you thought they were. That was just a title. They weren't true to that. They were not a husband. They were not a wife. They were not a parent. And you have to grieve that. No matter what somebody says, how they feel about how you feel about it. They were not what they were supposed to be for you. You also have to grieve the fantasy of who you thought you could be for them. Especially those of you who are empaths out there. The fixer, the lover, you know, the redeemer. Because you genuinely did care. You genuinely did see a need. You genuinely did want to help. You genuinely did want a family. You genuinely did everything. Genuinely. You gotta grieve that. You gotta grieve all the fantasies. You gotta grieve everything, understanding that whatever they told you, it wasn't true. Whatever they promised you, it wasn't real. You gotta grieve. You gotta grieve that. This is non-negotiable. Don't forget, grieve, because grief is non-negotiable. You gotta grieve the loss of those family illusions. Those of you dealing with this on a family level, you gotta grieve the loss of the family illusions. They try to make you think, oh, this is a loving family. Some of you, this might be a church community, some type of spiritual community you were a part of. Oh, this community is safe. You gotta grieve that those were all lies. Those were all lies. No, it wasn't a perfect family. No, it wasn't a good, loving family. No, it's not. None of that. Those are lies. That's their illusion. That's their narrative. But it's not the reality. It's not the reality. And the biggest one for me is grieving the loss of your old self, the version of you that tolerated that type of abuse and those types of behaviors. That's that self-forgiveness piece right there. Grieving the loss of your old self. You tolerated stuff and called it abuse. Or you called it love, sorry. You misconstrued a lot of things and you dealt with and put up with a lot of crap that you shouldn't have. And you have to grieve that part of you and forgive that part of you and let that old you go and embrace the you that you're trying to become, that you need to become. And then this one is big for a lot of people because narcissists dominate your life and take years from you. You have to grieve the time that you lost, all the season of your life that you lost. You have to grieve it. You have to grieve these things because they're non-negotiable. You have to grieve it. You have to even grieve sometimes the fact that you had to walk away from someone or people that you love. You have to grieve these feelings. You have to accept it. The grief and the grieving process is it's a multi-layer. There's a lot of different parts. Because the biggest thing is this was an ambiguous loss for many of us. So we're grieving something that was never really there in a lot of situations. We're grieving something that was never there, accepting that it was fake, not real. That's a big loss when you had put your all into it. And when you were being as real as you could and as genuine and as vulnerable as you could, just for it to be used against you and destroy you. You have to grieve these things. Because grief is literally the heat that melts the frozen you or the frozen parts of you even. A lot of people don't understand that that's a big, big part of going from victim to victor. The things that I shared with you, with grief being the biggest of them all. This is when you know that you're out of this thing and that you're truly free. Your soul is free, your heart is free, mind, body, soul on a new level. I'm going to get in here and read some of these comments. And, you know, if you're out there and you need life coaching sessions and you need a little bit more help to really shake this thing off, don't hesitate. Reach out, book those sessions, sign up for that class. Currently, the best way to book sessions is actually to go through the master class. Let me see here. Let me go through. Guys, I appreciate the engagement. There's so many of you guys. Oh my gosh. Shout out to all the kings and queens in the house. Somebody said righteous anger. Yep. Absolutely. You got to be able to feel that. Deborah Roll. Hey, I've been with God for 61 years, but why does he let them get away with their evil crap? How many people have to suffer? Some don't survive. Oh yeah, my heart goes out to you, love. I totally understand. Deborah's Chosen by God said, I used to believe I'm cursed. Now I realize that I'm chosen. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my goodness. If you missed anything, make sure you check out the replay of this live, guys. It's going to be available when we get off of here. Just come back to the platform and you should see it. Amy Williams says, I have a lot of questions for God, but I have to trust him for now. Yes, Amy, don't we all? Yep, I'm not even going to lean in my own understanding. He leads the way. I'm blind and he's my rod, my staff. He directs me. Because yea, though we walk through the shadows, what is it? I'm terrible. Yea, though I walk through the valley of darkness. Hold on, I gotta pull it up now. Y'all got me quoting Bible scriptures and stuff. Hold on, hold on. That used to be a good passage. Psalms. Hold on. Yea, though I walk through the valley. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, Jesus Christ. I fear name was Psalm 23. I should know this. It used to be, oh Lord, I haven't read it in a while. But I seriously, 23:4. Yep, Psalm 23, verse 4. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yeah, though, look, I'm gonna say verse 4 with some attitude. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Period. Okay? Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Woo! Yeah. My goodness. I love that. I love that. Whew. We got to trust God. That's all I can say. We got to trust God. There's a purpose behind everything. I'm pretty sure there's stories in the Bible where people wanted to question God. People went through a lot of hell before they saw what their life's purpose was in the end. During the storm, it's questionable. It's hard. It's like it don't make sense. The math ain't mathing. God, where are you at? Are you even there? Why me? Why them? Why the innocent people? That's for us to live this life and continue to trust him and find out at the appointed time. Because he knows there's a shadow of death. He knows there's darkness. That's why it's saying, he's our shepherd. You shall not want. He got you. He got you. That's why many of us are victors now. Because we had God. We have God. We have a shepherd. We have a maker that leads us in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. That's deep. That's powerful. Victor, victor, victor. It's the word of the day for me on this Winning Wednesday. Victor, victor, victor. From victim to victor. You know? So shout out to those of you that are healing, still allowing yourself to heal. Even us thrivers. We're still grieving. We're still crying out. We're still praying. But we're doing it in peace, though. We're doing it for healing purposes, not because we're still in pain. We remember the pain, but we're not sinking in it. Like I said, join the Thriving Gang if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe. You like the video tonight, make sure you drop your comment too. You can go back and look at the replay comment or the live comments too, I believe, in the replay. Yes, Renee Fernandez, grieve. It's the part that's going to melt your frozen self. Let those feelings out. Let those tears out. Tupac said it. I shed so many tears. You know, I low-key want to hear that. Y'all know me with this music. I'm about to let y'all go, though. Shed so many tears. Grieve. Let them tears out. Let them tears out. I love that brother hype man there for the word reaping endure. Weeping, weeping endure for a night, but the joy of the Lord will come in the morning. Psalms 30 verse 5. Nehemiah 8 verse 10. Yeah, y'all would look, everybody in there like the valley of the shadow of death. I was trying to remember it. Oh my God. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be on it. Hilarious. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. I will see you guys next week on live. Let me see. I appreciate all the engagement. Y'all gonna see me next week. I'm gonna leave you with love and light. Go get you something to eat, get you some rest, thrive through the rest of this week. Keep thriving, you know. Make sure you do the work, even if that means crying. It's still a win. Every tear. Much love, everybody. I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all have a blessed night. A wonderful Wednesday night. Wake up and thrive tomorrow on Thriving Thursday. Thank you so much, Chosen by God. I appreciate you guys. Y'all stay blessed and stay true out there. Much love, kings and queens. Peace.